All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. Have you ever really thought about the hidden structures that literally shape our entire world? I'm talking about massive, invisible architectures that silently dictate everything around us, from the actual ground beneath our feet to the strategic geopolitical maneuvering of nations, to the high-speed code running global financial markets, and even the abstract weight of time itself. By making these unseen systems visible, we can actually start to understand the true, hidden complexity of the reality we live in.
So to decode all of this, we're going to look at 4 very different but totally connected areas today. Earth's deep geological layers, the geopolitical poison pill, algorithms and market noise, and finally, tracing regions of time.
Okay, Part 1. Earth's deep geological layers. Let's start with the literal ground beneath us.
Take a look at this. It's a 1980 dissertation out of Moscow State University by a scientist named V.G. Chernov. And it's a brilliant example of our fundamental drive to figure out what's hidden underground. Decades ago, way before we had any fancy modern satellite imaging, geologists were out there painstakingly trying to read the Earth's history just by looking at its deep hidden stratigraphy. It's a physical manifestation of our need to uncover what is buried out of sight.
Now the key here is what they were actually hunting for, things called psephites. Basically, these are coarse, clastic, sedimentary rocks. Think ancient gravel and rubble. But they aren't just random rocks, right? They're structural clues. By studying these specific psephite formations, geologists can literally read the hidden history of tectonic shifts. It's like a giant puzzle. They tell us exactly how mountains were formed and how entire continents collided millions of years ago. By mapping these hidden layers, we can literally reverse engineer the planet.
Moving on to Part 2, the geopolitical poison pill. Because honestly, mapping the Earth's layers isn't just about the ancient past. It is a major strategic advantage right now.
When you impartially analyze standard infrastructure versus covert installations, a really stark spatial logic pops out. Declared facilities in places like Iran, like Natanz or Fordo, they naturally correlate with existing cities and demographics. But assessed covert facilities, they are massive statistical outliers. They are placed in extreme isolation in what intelligence analysts actually call spatial voids.
Look at the extreme spatial shift going on here. This assessed covert complex is buried deep beneath the Kopet Dag mountain shield. By using all that massive natural topographical shielding and picking an area with a crazy high cluster isolation coefficient, basically a total geographic dead zone, a nation can hide a massive infrastructural footprint. We're talking ultra-high voltage power lines, heavy tunneling signatures, just completely hidden from standard observation. It's literally using the Earth itself as impenetrable armor.
But here's the thing. Isolation isn't their only defense. Far from it. This map lays out something intelligence reports call a strategic poison pill defense. This facility isn't just under a mountain. It's deliberately jammed right into a web of collateral constraints. Look at the proximity zones. It is less than 80 kilometers from the Turkmenistan border, right next to vital Eurasian gas pipelines, adjacent to the heavily populated religious center of Mashhad, and it borders the volatile Afghan frontier. The logic is intense. Any kinetic strike on this hidden node basically guarantees catastrophic political, religious, and international collateral damage.
And that specific placement creates what analysts call a geo-cybernetic cascade. This outlines the exact theoretical chain reaction if a disruption were to happen. If that logical node gets targeted, the model predicts immediate cross-border radioactive dispersion. That fallout would instantly sever the Ashgabat corridor, triggering a total paralysis of Eurasian logistics, including those massive Belt and Road Initiative supply chains. And the ultimate outcome? A complete deconstruction of international rule of law due to the unprecedented civilian fallout. It is honestly a masterclass in using unseen geography as the ultimate deterrent.
All right, shifting gears entirely for Part 3, algorithms and market noise. We are leaving physical geography and diving straight into the digital unseen.
What you're looking at here is the raw code texture of a custom Binance trading bot. I know, it kind of just looks like a chaotic wall of text, right? But it's actually a highly sophisticated architecture built on predictive math. Kind of like how those geologists sift through layers of rock, this Python script uses multi-layered neural networks and statistical models to filter actual truth from the overwhelming, chaotic noise of crypto markets. It's an invisible machine hunting for human behavior patterns in real time.
To really grasp what this script is doing, check out how it mathematically weighs different variables to spot those invisible anomalies. It uses a layered approach. One part analyzes how frequency changes over time.
using things like wavelets, while another looks at statistical outliers like Kolmogorov enhancements to find unusual market behavior. By combining all these mathematical lenses, the algorithm mathematically strips away the normal, everyday market fluctuations to reveal the hidden trajectory of an asset that no human eye could ever catch.
And here's a wild little detail. Look at this massive, exact float value pulled straight from the bot's code, over 9 quintillion. This huge number is used as a precise divisor in the bot's custom FastRAND63 random number generator. It just goes to show you the staggering scale of the math operating literally just beneath the surface of the apps and trading platforms we use every day. Millions of times a second, massive calculations like this are happening in the dark, shaping our digital economy without us even knowing it.
Okay, finally, part 4, tracing regions of time. Let's slow things down a bit.
We've looked at geology, geography, and algorithms. Now let's pivot to the human element. This beautiful fragment, Centuries Trying to Outrun the Past, is from a modern poem and video called 8 June 2026. The narrator is describing a long, solitary drive across European borders, and I think this quote perfectly captures our philosophical relationship with the unseen weight of history. Even as we're hurling ourselves forward in metal and glass machines, we are constantly navigating the invisible, accumulated layers of the past.
Which brings us to the core of this whole explainer. The poet talks about tracing the regions of time, and when you really think about it, whether it's a Soviet geologist in 1980 digging into ancient rocks, or an intelligence analyst mapping out a hidden mountain bunker, or a quant developer writing an algorithm to predict tomorrow's markets, we're all basically doing the exact same thing. Fundamentally, we are all just trying to trace these hidden regions of time and space, trying to make the unseen world visible.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this. We have literally only scratched the surface of the systems that silently govern our reality. These invisible architectures are constantly shaping your world, your decisions, and for sure your future. So as you go about the rest of your day, look a little closer at the systems you just take for granted and ask yourself, what other hidden systems are operating around you right now? Keep questioning it all, and thanks for joining me to uncover the unseen.